What if I told you that America is already selling high-end, award-winning Chinese boats, and not just in small numbers? It's true. Over 400 of these sleek, modern watercraft have made their way onto U.S. lakes and marinas, and somehow, the boating community barely blinked. No headlines, no big controversies, just quiet adoption, as if these boats had always been here. But here's the real kicker. This is just the beginning. There are at least 7 more Chinese brands gearing up to flood the American market. And some of their sticker prices are so low, they're making established US manufacturers sweat. Some of these newcomers are coming in with innovations, certifications, and performance specs that are hard to ignore, even for die-hard fans of legacy American brands. So, what does this mean for the future of boating in the US? Are American builders about to face their biggest challenge yet from overseas? Or is this just another passing trend? Let's get into it. Let's start with X, a brand that's been quietly making waves, pun intended, in the US boating scene. X isn't just another overseas manufacturer, they've built a reputation for luxury, performance, and award-winning design in Europe and Asia. When they set their sights on the American market, a lot of people underestimated them. But here's the thing, X didn't just show up with a few models. They rolled out a lineup that matched, and in some cases outclassed, American competitors in terms of fit, finish, and features. Their flagship models boast advanced hull designs, integrated tech like touchscreen helm controls, and interiors that rival high-end automobiles. The price? Surprisingly competitive, sometimes 10 to 20% below comparable American boats. That's a big deal when you're talking about a market where even a small price difference can sway a buyer's decision. What really sets X apart, though, is their attention to detail. We're talking about stainless steel hardware, premium upholstery, and factory-installed options that would cost you thousands extra elsewhere. For buyers looking for a turnkey experience, X delivers. And the reviews? Solid. Early adopters have praised the ride quality and customer support. But X isn't just playing the value card. They're pushing innovation too. Experimenting with hybrid propulsion, advanced navigation systems, and even partnering with American dealers for localized support. That's a smart move, because it addresses the #1 fear buyers have with imported boats: after-sales service. Despite all this, X has managed to fly under the radar. The boating press hasn't really picked up on their growing footprint, and many dealers aren't advertising the fact that these boats are made in China. That's strategic. It lets the brand build trust based on product quality, not country of origin. The impact, so far, subtle, but undeniable. X is capturing market share, especially among first-time buyers and those looking for luxury without the luxury price tag. And with each sale, they're chipping away at the old narrative that imported boats can't match American quality. Now, let's talk about another player, also going by X here, who's targeting the mid-range, family-friendly boat market. This brand took a different approach. Instead of focusing on luxury, they doubled down on versatility and practicality. Their boats are modular with removable seating, customizable storage, and fishing or water sports packages that can be swapped in or out. The appeal: flexibility. A single boat can be set up for a lazy family cruise on the weekend, then reconfigured for a hardcore fishing trip during the week. That's resonating with a younger, more budget-conscious generation of boaters who want more bang for their buck and less maintenance. Pricing is the real shocker. X's entry-level models start thousands less than established American brands, and they're loaded with standard features. Bimini tops, trailer packages, Bluetooth audio, the whole works. Combine that with aggressive financing deals and you've got a recipe for rapid adoption. Quality-wise, X has made serious investments in manufacturing. Their assembly lines are state-of-the-art, using robotics for welding and paint to maintain consistency. They've earned CE and ABYC certifications, which helps reassure American buyers about safety and compliance. And they've even adjusted some models to meet unique US Coast Guard standards, eliminating headaches for dealers and buyers alike. Dealers have noticed. Some are quietly adding X boats to their showrooms, using them to attract price-sensitive buyers who might otherwise walk away. And in online forums, you'll see more and more threads popping up with people asking, "Has anyone tried X? Is it really that good for the price?" So far, feedback has been positive. Owners are reporting low running costs, reliable performance, and, perhaps most importantly, positive experiences with warranty claims and parts availability. That's a big hurdle for any imported brand to clear. The net result? X is making the mid-tier market a lot more competitive, forcing American brands to rethink their pricing and feature list. This isn't just a trend, it's a shift. Next up is another Chinese brand, again, X for the sake of anonymity and legal reasons. That's all about performance. Think high-speed runabouts, wakeboats, and even some very slick personal watercraft. Their focus is on engineering, lightweight composite construction, aggressive hull shapes, and powerful fuel-efficient engines. The target market here? Enthusiasts who want thrills without the luxury markup. These boats are spec'd for speed, handling, and water sports capability. On paper, they go toe-to-toe with the best from American legends like Malibu and Mastercraft, but come in at a fraction of the price. One of the ways X keeps costs down is by vertically integrating their supply chain. They make their own engines, electronics, and even trailers, which means fewer markups and more control over quality. And because they're not paying for a decades-old brand name, they can pour more resources into R&D. The result? Some seriously impressive numbers. Their flagship wakeboat has won awards at international boat shows for both innovation and value. And it's not just hype. Independent tests show it matches or beats established competitors in acceleration, wake shape, and fuel economy. But, as with any performance product, there's skepticism. Some buyers worry about resale value, brand recognition, and long-term durability. X is addressing that by offering extended warranties, dealer training, and even sponsoring local events to build community trust. The American market loves a good underdog story, and X is positioning itself exactly that way. They're not here to replace the icons. They're here to push them to do better. And if you're a buyer who cares more about what a boat does than what badge it wears, X is a compelling alternative. So for adrenaline junkies and savvy shoppers alike, X is becoming harder to ignore. And that's exactly what's making American performance brands sit up and take notice. Let's switch gears and talk about electrification, a trend that's shaking up nearly every corner of mobility, including boats. This next X brand is all in on electric propulsion. They offer a range of fully electric runabouts and pontoons, and they're making surprisingly big inroads in the United States market. Why? Because they're hitting three sweet spots: quiet operation, zero emissions, and low running costs. These boats aren't just for eco-conscious buyers, they're also a hit with lake communities that have noise restrictions or fuel bans. And since electric motors require much less maintenance than traditional engines, they're appealing to newcomers who don't want to deal with constant tinkering. Battery tech is a big story here. X has invested heavily in lithium packs designed specifically for marine use. Fast charging, high energy density, and integrated cooling for safety. Their boats aren't just clean, they're quick, with instant torque and top speeds that rival gas-powered equivalents. Pricing is aggressive too. X is able to undercut American electric boat startups by 15 to 25% thanks to their scale and manufacturing efficiencies. And because they're already selling thousands of units in Europe and Asia, their supply chain is dialed in. The American response has been cautious, but curious. Early adopters are sharing positive experiences: quiet cruises, hassle-free ownership, and surprisingly good range. Dockside charging infrastructure is still a barrier, but X is partnering with marinas to install fast chargers, giving them a head start on the competition. Perhaps most telling is the reaction from United States boat builders. Some are scrambling to launch their own electric models or partner with tech companies to keep up. Because if X can deliver performance, reliability, and affordability, all in a zero-emission package, then the game really has changed. So, as the boating world goes electric, X is making sure they're not just part of the conversation, they're leading it. Now, let's get specific. Kosian, also known as Kenlife in some markets, is a Chinese pontoon boat manufacturer that's turning heads, and not just because of their shiny aluminum rails. These guys have figured out how to build a fully certified turnkey pontoon boat for a fraction of what American brands are charging. Kosian pontoons come loaded, plush seating, LED lighting, Bluetooth sound systems, and even optional fishing packages. They're ABC certified and meet all the required United States Coast Guard regulations, so there's no compromise on safety or compliance. That's a crucial box to check, especially for buyers worried about imported products. But let's talk pricing. It's eye-popping. Kosian pontoons routinely sell for 30 to 40% less than comparable American models. We're talking about a brand new, fully optioned 20-footer for the price of a used domestic boat with fewer features. This is the kind of pricing that's forcing American brands to reevaluate their entry-level offerings and incentives. Kosian isn't just dumping cheap boats on the market either. Their manufacturing is modern and their quality control is tight. They're using marine-grade aluminum, UV-resistant fabrics, and all the little details that matter for longevity. And by shipping in volume, they keep freight costs down, passing those savings straight to the customer. The result? Kosian has moved hundreds of pontoons into United States waters, often sold through small, independent dealers or even direct to consumer. Some buyers don't even realize their new boat is Chinese-made until they see the paperwork. The value proposition is just that strong. American pontoon makers are definitely feeling the heat. We're starting to see more rebates, longer warranties, and even some Buy American marketing campaigns in response. But when it comes down to dollars and features, Kosian is a giant wake-up call. If you're price-sensitive, or just want the most boat for your buck, Kosian is making the decision harder than ever before. Alright, let's talk about something a little different. The phenomenon of buying boats directly off Alibaba. You might have seen the viral story of Mike Atoll. He ordered a boat straight from a Chinese factory on Alibaba, shipped it to the United States, and documented the entire process on social media. The story blew up, and for good reason. This isn't just about one guy taking a gamble. It's a window into a new way people are buying boats, skipping the dealer, the showrooms, and the markups. And going factory direct. On Alibaba, you can find everything from tiny aluminum skiffs to full-blown cabin cruisers, often at prices that seem too good to be true, and sometimes they really are. Micah's experience had its ups and downs. He saved a ton of money, but there were headaches, import paperwork, customs delays, and a few unexpected features that needed fixing. But overall, he got a functional, well-equipped boat for thousands less than the American equivalent. The impact of the Alibaba phenomenon? It's making United States buyers more aware of global pricing, and it's putting pressure on dealers to justify their markups. Some dealers are even partnering with Chinese factories to offer private label boats, imported, rebranded, and sold as their own. There are risks, of course. Warranty support can be sketchy, and you're on your own when it comes to after-sales service. But for the right buyer, someone who's handy, adventurous, and budget-driven, the appeal is obvious. This direct-to-consumer trend is still niche, but it's growing, and if the process gets easier and more reliable, it could disrupt the entire way Americans buy boats. Dealers, take note, the world just got a whole lot smaller. Kimple is another Chinese name you're going to be hearing a lot more about. They specialize in aluminum boats, everything from utility john boats to sleek electric-powered fishing rigs. What sets Kimple apart is their manufacturing scale. They pump out thousands of hulls per year for markets around the world, but they're just starting to focus on the United States. Kimple's boats are all about durability and value. Their hulls are welded, not riveted, and they use thick, marine-grade aluminum that stands up to abuse. For anglers and utility users, that's a huge selling point, and because they're building at scale, their prices are hard to beat. But Kimple isn't just about cheap boats. They're investing in electric propulsion, partnering with battery manufacturers to offer plug-and-play electric models. These boats are quiet, clean, and perfect for restricted lakes or eco-conscious buyers. And the pricing? Again, 10 to 30% below American competitors. Kimple is also serious about certifications. Their boats meet both CE and ABYC standards, and they've worked with United States importers to tweak layouts and features for American tastes. That attention to detail is helping them win over dealers who might otherwise hesitate to carry a Chinese brand. The company's ambitions are clear. They want to be a household name in the United States aluminum boat market. They're ramping up marketing, sponsoring fishing tournaments, and building a nationwide dealer network. That's a long game, but they've got the resources to pull it off. For buyers, Kimple represents a new kind of value. Tough, reliable boats with modern features at prices that make the competition sweat. It's not just a budget play, it's a serious bid for mainstream acceptance. If you're in the market for a fishing or utility boat, don't be surprised if Kimple is suddenly at the top of your list. Finally, let's talk about personal watercraft, or PWCs, also known as jet skis. Heisen is a Chinese brand that's causing a stir, and for good reason. Their jet skis are hitting the United States market at prices that are sometimes half of what you'd pay for a Yamaha or Sea-Doo. That's not a typo. Half. So, what's the catch? Well, Heisen has faced some controversy over quality control and warranty issues, especially in their first couple of years. But they've rapidly improved, and recent models are getting much better reviews, especially when it comes to engine reliability and hull durability. Feature-wise, Heisen PWCs are loaded: digital dashes, Bluetooth speakers, multiple riding modes, and even some wild color options. They're also offering longer warranties as a way to build buyer confidence. For budget-conscious buyers or first-time PWC owners, that's a huge draw. The value proposition is almost impossible to ignore. If you want the thrill of zipping across the lake without dropping 10 grand, Heisen is basically rewriting the rules. And as sales numbers grow, American and Japanese brands are starting to take notice, offering deeper discounts and more entry-level options just to compete. Of course, there are still skeptics. Some hardcore enthusiasts will always prefer to stick with the big names. But for a growing segment of buyers, Heisen is making personal watercraft ownership more accessible than ever before. It's not just about price either. Heisen is experimenting with electric jet skis, smart safety features, and even direct-to-consumer sales models. They're not just competing, they're innovating. So if you see a jet ski you've never heard of out on the water this summer, don't be surprised. The world of PWCs just got a whole lot more interesting. So, what does it all mean? Chinese boat brands aren't just knocking on the door, they're already inside the American market, and they're moving fast. From luxury cruisers to budget pontoons, from electric runabouts to jet skis, these companies are rewriting the rules on price, value, and even innovation. The days when made in China was a deal breaker for boats. Those days are fading, fast. Now none of this means American boat builders are out of the race. Far from it. What we're seeing is a new era of competition, one that's going to push everybody to up their game. Better prices, more features, smarter tech, and a real focus on what buyers actually want. That's the kind of competition that makes the whole industry better, no matter where you stand. So if you're a buyer, the future looks bright. More choices, lower prices, and a wave of new technology, literally. But if you're an American builder, it's time to pay attention. Because the water just got a lot deeper, and the next wave of innovation could be coming from somewhere you least expect.